Hey, hello everyone. Welcome back. Just a quick review of The Mandalorian Episode 2. Just finished watching it, so I wanted to do a quick initial thoughts, reaction kind of thing, or review. So we pick up with the end of Episode 1, shows you a little bit of a summary. Obviously, there's going to be spoilers in this conversation. I'm not doing anything non-spoiler anymore. If you're this far, let's just run with it. So we pick up at the end of Episode 1. We have the Baby Yoda, is how I'll refer to him. We don't know if it's not Yoda, but maybe it is. We don't know. But it's a Yoda species, and the big question is, who is he? She, he, where did he come from? Is he force sensitive? Those are the big questions going in, and basically we just see the Mandalorian taking him back to a ship, kind of playing babysitter. The cool part I liked is he's trying to heal his arm at one point through injury that he received during a fight. And it certainly seemed like Baby Yoda was trying to help him and kept putting him back into his little cradle there. But you get the impression at that point in time that the Baby Yoda has some sort of force sensitive abilities or force abilities. So you see him walking through the desert, beautiful shots, beautiful scenery. I love the way that that it all felt, the way that it all looked, as just like the first one. It looks fantastic. Love the way that this looks. Gets back to a ship, and we see, again, classic Star Wars. We see Jawas absolutely tearing his ship apart. I mean, they just destroyed his ship. So he starts taking them out and tries to chase after him, which was a pretty cool scene with the sandcrawler. They're all trying to get him off, and that was a really neat scene. But just fast forwarding, he just had a bad day. The Mandalorian, let's just leave it at this. He had a bad day. This was not a good day for the Mandalorian. Got beat up by the Jawas, fell off the sandcrawler. Went back to Nick Nolte's Ugnaught character. I have spoken for help. Learns he has to barter with the Jawas. The whole time, Baby Yoda is following him along, which is always it was just kind of cool. And the only thing that he doesn't want to give up his Beskar. Certainly doesn't want to give up Baby Yoda. And so they want this egg. And you learn pretty quick it's going to be a Reek. The creature's a Reek, I believe. And they want the egg. So he gets into this fight with the Reek, and he's just getting destroyed. And it certainly appeared like he was at the brink of death. And then really the highlight of the show was we learn and see, and you kind of were expecting this. They were kind of teasing it the whole episode because they kept showing Baby Yoda he's really attentive, paying attention to what's going on. And then you see him raise up his hand, and he uses the Force to stop the Reek that's charging. Really, it looked like it would have been the final charge. And he holds him up, and then the Mandalorian is able to kill him with a toothpick, and certainly seemed that way. You would think Reek's skin would be a little thicker to handle, a knife, but that's long and not die from it. But who knows? Maybe he had a vital spot. So Baby Yoda saves the day, and then the use of the Force wore him out so much he literally slept for, it appears, days afterwards. In fact, they were wondering if he was really okay. And brings the egg back he steals the egg. It's like a furry Reek kind of egg, brings it back to the Jawas. The Jawas were awesome, man. They just, classic Star Wars. The language, we got a new teeny, and you're like, okay, what are they going to use the egg for? And you kind of know. Chop it open, and I'm going to tell you what, I don't know if I ever want to eat an egg again. Those Jawas dug into that egg. I love the Mandalorian's reaction, just shook his head like, oh man. Gets his parts back, fixes up his ship, which could not work prior to that because they just ravaged it. It just tore his ship apart. Gets it fixed, says goodbye to his Ugnaught friend, takes off, and Baby Yoda's still sleeping. But they're flying through space, and then Baby Yoda looks up, and he appears to be okay, and he's along for the ride. And that's how the show ends. We don't know where it's going from now. Is he going to try to protect Baby Yoda? Is he going to bring him back to the guy who hired him? What's going to happen here? And who is this creature? Who is this Baby Yoda species? What's his connection to everything? He's Force sensitive. I didn't know if we were going to see the Force in the show. I'm actually really surprised that we're seeing more of the mystic side of Star Wars, the Force, which, I mean, for all intents and purposes, that is Star Wars. Okay, that's just my opinion. Yeah, you can have all the side stuff, which is great, but ultimately the heart of Star Wars is the Force and the Jedi and the Sith and all that stuff. But my initial reaction is I loved it. It was great. and certainly a little different feel than the first one, a little slower paced, and big disappointment. I'll end it with this. It's only 32 minutes long. I really thought these episodes would be a little bit longer than that. Only 32 minutes, but it was a good 32 minutes. Visually, it looked fantastic. It really kind of reminded me of A New Hope and just walking through the desert without a lot of dialogue. And the Jawas really just enjoyed, again, watching something that looked like Star Wars, but at the same time was different with the music and everything else. So can't wait for episode 2. Hey, let me know what you thought. Leave some comments below. Love to interact with you. Hit the subscribe button. Help us get to 1,000 subscribers. Hey, until the next time, I have spoken.